How's that for an answer, Chuck? Somebody asked me, I gave an opinion. Anybody else
Uh,
got any other questions before we get going?
well, while we're waiting, Tom, I think that answer is absolutely perfect. If you do want to keep up with Tom's view on gold, silver, and other products, make sure you join us at dtitrader.com/telegram. And of course, go back and look at those YouTube videos, dtitrader.com/YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe while you're there.
There's another one I want to answer, Chuck. It's thoughts on MU. I'm a buyer of MU. I bought it about 5 minutes ago at 442, and I'm looking over here, it's at 446. Remember what I told everybody about 8 o'clock number? Y'all remember that? It opened, just for your information, where you'll have it for tomorrow, 440. There's your pivot number for MU, Kevin. I'm full of opinions, aren't I? That's what I was doing to get started. That's why I was a little bit late, get my numbers down. We're 447 right now. Okay, Lynn wants to know, I put on a credit spread today uh, on USO, and it expires Friday, Lynn. Uh, we don't do anything yet until we get to Friday because we have a defined risk stop in there. And if you think about it, uh, you got a little surge there. Odds are it's going to come off. I had to check real close, but USO has got, guess where USO, Lynn, is? 122 is its pivot number. What do you think about that one? Here's a question. Does the market down continue tomorrow or Friday? Uh, I think what you got to do, Jody, we're really, you go back to where we opened the week at. And Chuck, given the E-mini where we opened the week, put things in perspective.
Right. So the E-mini S&P open this week at 66.59.75. We're currently trading at 66.74.
So we're
Now we did
actually up
go,
for the week, Jody.
yeah, we were briefly down, but I think that was a little bit of overkill. We'll see how the market reacts over the next 24 to 48 hours. Uh, but the market got hit with a lot today, Tom. So I'm
What do you
looking at
think the
it.
biggest reason the market sold off? Do you think it was Powell, or do you think it was the fact that crude oil rose into the close, like from 95 to 99?
Personally, Tom, I think it started with PPI, and I think they were looking for a reason to disregard PPI, and they didn't get it out of the FOMC or out of oil. So I think basically, if you look at the way the market was moving, we were moving down heading into the FOMC. We were moving down heading into the end of the day. And the neither the FOMC nor the action of crude gave the market a reason to disregard a PPI number, which just wasn't a good number.
Yeah, and I think, look, guys, and this is the hard part. Has anybody ever heard it gets darkest before the dawn? Anybody ever heard that? It gets real dark before dawn. Anybody ever heard that statement? I think if I had to describe the market right now, that's the way I would look at the market. It's darkest before the dawn. We're getting very close to getting a bid in this market. We had one coming in last night, and for the week last night we had one, and then all of a sudden we started this morning. I showed you that RBX bar that where we broke, and all of a sudden they took all the rain out of the atmosphere last night or this morning when it started coming down in anticipation of what Chuck was throwing, the PPI number. And it was pretty interesting to watch, is all I'm saying. And we really spent most of the day heading lower, lower, and lower. Chuck just posted this, or Adam just posted the slides. Art says his put spreads are up 40%. Way to go, Art. That's on the SPY. Okay, good job. Chuck, I think we got rid of all the questions. You want to keep going?
Sure, Tom. Let's see who's running the slides. It looks like you've got the slides here, so we'll let we'll just keep going here. Of course, the risk disclaimer, we got to make this one, right? There's a very high degree of risk involved in trading. You might have noticed that over the course of the past few hours. There's also an opportunity for reward, but past performance not indicative of future results. And make sure you and you alone are responsible for the decisions you make. So make some smart ones and consider risk as you go through. We always want to make sure that you guys end up on the right side of the market. Past performance not indicative of future results. And let's move on. I think what's our next slide, Tom? Is that typically in our earlier presentations, that's where we get into your opinion. But I think this is going to be where you get to introduce yourself. If you'll give me a second here, I just want to point out Tom's a former Air Force officer. Thank you for your service always. Active trader since the 70s, former member of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, author of 3 books, Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. By the way, you can check those out over at Amazon, or we probably over at Amazon. Check and see
Yeah, you
if
get
they're
all three
available.
books from Amazon, and a lot of people before Sawgrass will get a book and have me sign it when they're down and face to face. We got a class in April also, so uh, typically after Sawgrass you get a pop in the price. I'll just tell you historically.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been working with students. Tom, we've been doing this education part since the late 90s, mid to late 90s. And it's hard to believe that, you look at the year currently, that's 30 years of education, and
Yeah,
that's
it's
on
sort of
top of,
interesting. A lot of people don't know this, but the reference bar method that I always refer to really started in the futures world. It's a 24-hour look at the market from my Globex days. And boy, what did we discover? Something that's really the secret to what I call the 24-hour market.
most definitely. And, you look at that 30 years of education and about 20 before that as a professional in the market. So that's 50 years, Tom. That's a 50-year profession. I didn't realize you were that old.
But you can't tell, Chuck. My hair just turned gray.
Yeah, well, if they, we got B and N on there, and if anybody goes and watches that B and N interview from nearly 20 years ago, the hair was only slightly darker.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, Tom, I'm going to let you take over from here. This is your presentation. Have a lot of fun.
Sure. Let me answer that question. I would buy Palantir. In fact, Palantir has a pivot number 152. If you want to probe it, you can probe it tonight by going good to cancel EXTO. And if you're up above 9:30 tomorrow, you might have a chance to add to it. Don't overload your boat, but that's the way I would probably do it. Yeah, Lynn, understand. I should have qualified that USO. Wait till Friday. Friday. That's when the expiration date. Don't do anything until you let it work out. Okay? Wait till Friday. And will you repost a slide link for my buddy Rob? At DTI, we help you master the markets through education, training, and experience. Before we start, have you checked out Options EDU? We're getting a raving review from what Adam did. How many people have gone and look at Options EDU and look at what we put together there? Post your thoughts in the chat. Feedback's the best way we can improve it. And there's the link to get it. We find that people love it. I think Adam, came and put together a masterpiece. He's been with me about 20 years, so if anybody could do it, he could do it. But I think he's pretty proud of it. So let him know you like it. I didn't tell him to do it. He did it on his own. I like that proactive approach he took.
And there's one thing to mention on it. There's a feedback on the bottom left. If you run into something that you're not seeing, that's some kind of options strategy. You can provide some feedback, and I'll get it, and we can look at implementing it. So,
well, let me tell you, it passed the test because Jim out of California said, "Look at what he wrote." Excellent resource. He did a fantastic job. He's recommended anybody that wants to know about options. That's a pretty strong statement for a guy that's been trading 30 years. Adam, I think you got 3 stars on this, or 5 stars, whatever you want to be on this one. Great job. Perfect. In my opinion, the market, even after all the turmoil today, is right almost where we opened the week at. So we really get to do a Sunday night on Wednesday night tonight. And I think that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm putting aside, PPI, putting aside Powell, I'm putting aside crude oil, and I'm starting out tonight with an open mind, thinking that maybe the order flow is going to swing positive. Keep your eye on the VIX. It's at 24.85. If you wake up tomorrow and it's back down to 22, you probably got a real turnaround. Y'all hear what I said on VIX? That's very key to watch it in the morning. That'll help you. 24.85 right now. I'd say 22 or lower tomorrow tells you got it. Okay? Perfect. Well, thank you, Gwendolyn. That's awful nice. Everybody's in a great mood tonight. I got something great everybody's going to love. I brought back tonight for those people that really understand the power of what we do here at DTI. Seven Sisters update. Market's down about 3% for the year. 3% for the year. Let me ask the question. Just pose a comment. With everything that could happen this year happening, okay? I want you to think about this, okay? With everything that's happening in the market, if I told you that we're only down 3% from where we started this year, after being up last year the way we were, wouldn't you think that's a pretty strong market if you just stand back and think about that on the surface? Perfect. Yep, that's the way I'm looking at it too. All right, this week I published a 10 long, 10 short. I thought it was a good way to do it for everybody. I just thought that if I did this, people would have, look both ways for you. You go across the street. Does everybody see I had Visa identified going short at 302.55? Does everybody see that one? That one to me was my play on the short side. And notice that the QQQ is still above my short place. Did y'all see that? So anyway, I just thought you ought to see it because to me, it's pretty interesting when you lay things out this way. All right, years ago, before we had the gold program, before we had anything else, people on the day after Thanksgiving, we had a big special. And I introduced this thing about 8 years ago, never offered it except the day after Thanksgiving. But I got to thinking about this because I knew that people needed some of this stuff. And I told Adam, let's bring back T-Pass for tonight. And what is it? Like I said, we started this about 10 years ago, and it's a special approach that gives you a wholesale buy of some of the programs and services and give you a substitute power. If you got a few of them, you can substitute for other things in value. But people loved it. So I'm going to bring it back tonight, and we'll see if you like it as much as people have over the years. T-Pass. Most traders struggle because they rely on one approach in a constantly changing market. Wouldn't you say that if you only had one approach to this market, you would be suffering with one approach? Now, what works in a trending market may not work in a choppy one. And what works short term may not work longer term. T-Pass solves that by giving you multiple strategies, multiple time frames, and a clear market framework so you can adapt instead of guessing. We don't want you guessing. It's about the right tool for the right market condition every time. The market condition we're in tonight and have been in this year, T-Pass is perfect. With T-Pass, you receive the market timing indicator, lifetime access, and your choice of any 4 additional services, 1 year access to each. So it's got a lot of value packed in. Lifetime access with the power to substitute. And the beautiful thing about it is we will let you substitute. If you get in something and you don't like it, you can substitute it for something else. You've got a lot of flexibility with T-Pass. We only, like I said, have offered it in the past the day after Thanksgiving at turning Black Friday into green. Now, what I want to do next is quickly walk you through each of these available services so you can see exactly how they fit together, and more importantly, so you can decide which ones make the most sense for how you want to trade and invest. Because the goal here isn't just access, it's building a setup that actually works for you. MTI by DTI. This is a program we put together many years ago that people that use it, I've got one fellow that's here tonight, followed MTI by DTI, was able to take a small account and turn it into $250,000. Okay? Pretty wild, isn't it? MTI by DTI. And that's lifetime access. We give you lifetime access to that one. The Genesis algo. I think you would know, if you think about it, how important this day and time is. The Genesis algo, I think, is a must, whether you're trading the Genesis trade or whether you're using it for analysis. But the work we did on Genesis is really set the way. It's automatic analysis right in your back pocket. My sunrise signals for those people that like an early start. Like tomorrow, for example, with what happened today, sunrise is a very important way to kick off the morning. We named it sunrise because it's going to track that activity when we wake up tomorrow, before you wake up, on whether to be long, short, or out, and give you diversification at its finest. All automatic to you. So Ryan is a structured system focused on taking advantage of my skill, in trading the QQQ. All you'd have to do, you've been listening to me for 6 months, year, 5 years, or whatever, to know when it comes to the QQQ, this is one of my favorite indexes to trade and make money with. In fact, I used it for my pocket puts, if you remember, right? To make 40%, 20%, 10% just in the last 3 weeks. But the QQQ also offers, through Orion, a very highly liquid, quick access analysis throughout the day. I'm also included my futures program. It's a hands-on education program designed to teach you how to trade futures using DTI principles. Folks, that is well worth your time and a chance being in TPAS to be inside the future service. Not an alert service, but it's about building the confidence to take what I talk about, put it into action, tie the E-mini to the SPY, tie the NASDAQ to QQQ, tie crude oil to USO. Does anybody trade any of those tickers? Well, why not trade it with the full knowledge of futures to help you analyze it and improve your odds? This is a big, powerful piece of TPAS, the futures program. My Tuesday power plays. If you're new to options, I tell everybody, even if you're old to options. In fact, Jim made a comment earlier, said this taught him, me, Jeff, more about how to trade options with an entry level, an all bets off level, and a target level Tuesday through Friday. A heck of a program in Tuesday power play. The anchor trades. It's diversification at its finest. It's with bonds. We did a trade today in anchor. This does it automatically for you. The anchor. Money never sleeps. When the sun rises, it's go time. Details on where to enter, where to exit. Totally, everybody here needs this program here because you've got to have that diversification in your account. Weekend Profits Club. Now, you know, this is one of my programs, usually my last trade of the week. The track record for Weekend Profits Club is 1 trade a week. Happens at the last trade of the week is a remarkable setup that really enables you to have that win going into next week, the Weekend Profits Club. What a program. Start your journey tonight with TPAS. DTI tonight. Now, I hope he limited how many of these he's offered, but this is my way of saying, get on board, get the strategy. After 30 days, if you're in one program, it doesn't work, switch to something else. You got substitution power. Can't be more flexible than that. $5,000. You get 4 services plus MTI's tool, or equal value of MTI against something else. If you got any questions about this, schedule a call with Kelly, Jeffrey, Kareem, Chad. Anybody knows this is a program for people looking for something they get it. And you know the beauty of this? Let me tell you the beauty of this. We're going to create a TPAS room. You're going to love this part. In the TPAS room, we will post the trade in there to enable you on those mainline services. Wouldn't that be nice to have one place to go to? Another benefit for being in TPAS. Any questions about TPAS? Now, Adam, you did not put a limit up there, but I would like to limit it maybe to 10.
Well,
We can say that without a slide, can't we?
let's put a limit up there with a slide while we're live.
All right, do it. Yeah, I had to limit it by 10. I just wanted to do something here at the first of the year to make sure everybody here has the appropriate strategy for whatever way we go from here. Perfect. Anybody got any questions about what I put together? If you're new, yeah, the futures are included. Futures are included. The beautiful thing about the futures, this coming Monday night, I'm going to outline what I would call a nightly setup, a morning setup, or RB3 setup, a RB4 setup in picture form. What to look for where you'll have that picture to refer to. You know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. I thought I might as well break the code for everybody and show you exactly the steps for each of those Monday night. Is that pretty good for all my futures people? I was thinking about that tonight because you need to be taking advantage of this in this kind of market. Might as well pay for everything with your futures training. Who likes that idea of what I'm talking about? Let me explain first. I'll take RB1 tonight. I'll give you the details for RB1. You got that picture, you print it off, and then you take advantage of it when you see that picture. Does that make it simple? Color L, cover S for short, cover O for staying out. Yeah, futures is going to be part of this. Adam, I like the way we did this. I think this is the best TPAS we ever put together using these terms. Again, if you have something that you want to substitute in here, we'll give you equal value against another service. Thanks, Bob. Bob said he would jump on this in a heartbeat. Been with me for a while. He loves all the services, but he bought lifetimes and all the other services. Bob, you don't have lifetime futures. You can get this and then add a year to what you got. And then take the value against classes or anything else and credit. Let me explain how that would work. Say I have a class, say I have live trading at the end of the year. Well, we don't have lifetimes in there. Well, if you take TPAS and you got the value, you can use that for that. Does everybody see how that works? Substitute? See it, Bob? We tried to be very flexible putting this together tonight because we know a lot of you have different things and there's other things you'd like to have. This gives you a chance to fill your heart, your cards. Well, Adam, I think I've said about all I'm going to say. I answered all the questions. And take me up on this. Adam said we can't give in VIP MDI. Said in the night on the limit of 10, they'll get it. That's a lifetime there. Mowry, Adam Mowry. All right, well, y'all have a great night. It's already been a good night for me with that micron I bought at 443. It went to 448. Gotta love it. I think it's going higher. We'll see tomorrow. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow. Adam, you gonna replay this?
I am going to replay it now that it sounds like you are wrapped up. So I'll get it going in just a minute.
The only thing I can buy at night on micro is the stock.
One second for when I'm getting that replay set up right now. Just gotta stop YouTube and make sure I'm not rebroadcasting a replay onto a replay.